Hello and Swati Kop, dear viewer. On this, the first episode of the Crypto Disco podcast, we wanted to kick it off with a banger. We fly to Bangkok, Thailand to meet with my cousin, Jacob Gadikian, considered one of the top developers in the Cosmos space.
He shares with us his secrets about Cosmos.
We end up at a ladyboy bar shilling meme coins, and then later we get matching tattoos. I hope you enjoy the show. This is where the top minds from the crypto underground share their secrets, their plans, and their full true knowledge. What you learn here tonight might literally blow your mind. I now permit you entrance to the Crypto Disco.
Well,
bad beef with you.
Yeah, there was even more than that though. So like,
Because this is like an international, like really like I mean, involved or something, right?
no comment.
It may or may not be.
No
This
comment.
is like it is like an international mystery, an international conspiracy, basically.
Yeah, I do agree with that. But you know, at present, I think that's about all I can say about it.
All right.
However, you know, maybe we, you know, drop the theft entirely. But there, I mean, like here's a very clear instance of retaliation. So. Jack Zampolin wanted to use the Quicksilver code on Juno. I said not Quicksilver. Composable code on Juno. Composable was Jack Zampolin's customer.
Yeah.
The code was BSL'd. So I said, no, that would be illegal and immoral and bad. And then, of course, I published the conversation because, like, I take care of my clients.
Yeah.
And Composable was a client. I mean,
I just feel like you did a path.
After that,
there's been a lot of drama.
there has. After that, all kinds of things happened. And, you know, it felt like, well, everybody who contracted at the ICF was trying to drive me out of Cosmos. And you know, some of them told me that. So I believe them. And
I mean, you were considered
you know, then later this stuff occurred.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go into any greater depth on that, but I guess what I am going to say is that, first of all, the issue that I was reporting was a security issue, and in my opinion, it has over 140 billion with a B dollars to its name. That's a big fucking security issue.
Which chain are we talking about?
Well, I'm talking about Luna, but
Luna,
keep in mind that an issue in Comet is going to affect every chain that uses Comet.
Yeah.
Now, probably this issue is located in multiple places.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably it's in Comet. Probably it's in the Cosmos SDK. It has to do with like the overall TX processing capability of chains that use Comet and the Cosmos SDK.
Yeah.
Recently, somebody took down the Cosmos Hub. This was just this week.
Yeah, I read about that.
You read about it. Okay. So it's this issue.
Yeah.
It's exactly this issue.
Yeah.
And
So big systemic security issues with like all of Cosmos, basically.
unfortunately, if I'm being honest with you, yes. And then people get pissed off at me because, that could hurt market values or some shit.
Of course,
but
they get mad at you, but-
unfortunately, and this might piss them off
You want to know what's
more.
really bad for market values? Like all the Cosmos chains collapsing.
Yeah, I
That's even worse for market values.
Actually, what I've been saying is that I believe that the biggest hindrance to price appreciation in Cosmos is actually this issue. If Cosmos performed as claimed, you and I could put up a quarter Solana worth of TX capacity on Raspberry Pis with friends over a weekend globally.
Yeah.
And it would work.
Which sounds fun, by the way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I can also tell you that I did this, okay? I made a network of Raspberry Pis in 2020, I think.
Yeah.
And they it worked. Point being.
So you were just confirming blocks on Raspberry Pis, Cosmos?
Yeah. Well, that would be validating on a Raspberry Pi, but I made a whole network full of Raspberry Pis. And then I did it again recently.
Sweet.
And I was able to kind of like trace the issue to the bank module, because like all you actually need to do, and I hate this, okay? I hate this so much.
Wait.
Because I'm talking about a live issue.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I am reporting it publicly because it is not documented or addressed anywhere privately.
Yeah.
I am not aware. Now, I've told new ICF about it. My understanding is they're very busy and still like getting shit back together. And I keep trying to assume the best of these people. I really like the Skip team. Okay. And I think that of major Cosmos teams, if the foundation was going to do what they did, which is essentially like terminate engagements with all of the other teams and choose one. Keep in mind, Skip did not have a prior engagement. It would be them or Osmosis, and they're both really good. And by the way, they're like friendly with each other, right? And so I don't think we really like. I think that was a good move. Yeah. But, if I were going to give them a recommendation, my recommendation to them would be to actually, it's time to take care of the past, because so much trust is lost. I don't trust shit on the Cosmos Hub.
That's not, I mean, like, so I mean, many people consider you like one of the top, like, Cosmos developers, basically.
Yeah.
Like, you're in the people put you in the top 10 at least.
I believe that. Certainly by like volume and output, you know.
So this is concerning because I mean, I've been for me, and like really like a lot of people for many years have seen Cosmos as like the future, right? And Sonny has that wonderful talk where he kind of outlines like the three generations of blockchain. Like first there was Bitcoin, then it was Ethereum.
Oh, the really old one with Jake Wan. Yeah, no, dude, that's a really good talk.
And then the third generation is Cosmos, where all the blockchains can talk to each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you've got and Cosmos is responsible for inspiring, Avalanche app, the Avalanche app chain thing, and Polkadot and all this other stuff.
Do you want to hear something crazy, which is basically like, so I believe that Cosmos is the future. Every chain is naturally Cosmosifying. And people are saying this as a slur about both ETH and Solana, but I want to say to those people that Cosmos was run incompetently. And we did this well.
Yeah.
And by the way, Cosmos has done well, and I'm frustrated and may depart, but the growth has been explosive. There are over 100 Cosmos chains, and it's a big deal. The problem is that, like, for 5 years, I've been reporting an issue in all of the over 100 chains, and there's 4 years, four, not 5 years.
Okay.
And during that time, I've watched it actually be exploited and cause losses of user funds. I believe very, very strongly that what occurred with Luna Classic is as follows. One, TFL and Do Kwon built a chain that was way too dangerous for production. Okay. And any discussion of this is a really shitty discussion if that isn't mentioned, right? Like right up front.
Yeah. And that security flaw, I mean, that's the collapse of Terra Luna. I mean, that is what led to the collapse of FTX and the entire systemic collapse. And then that led to Celsius.
Well, FTX might have caused it, but
I mean, it was part of, it was one of the, I mean, that was the next domino. But the Terra thing kind of.
There's a very short list of organizations with the capital and talent necessary.
Yeah.
FTX is one of them.
Yeah.
And then I just want to say, though, that this really muddies the water. The fact that TFL and Do Kwon put into production a chain with a very dangerous stablecoin, okay? Yeah. But then, 2, other people knew it was dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay? And then 3, Doe and company is sort of like increased leverage by making some moves on 3Pool and other stuff like that. And when I'm talking leverage, I don't mean anything specific. I mean just the leverage on the system. Okay. Right. And
but like they, you know, are they in jail or something now? The Terra guys.
Doe is currently in jail, awaiting trial in the States. And
yeah, like last week, I think, right? He was arrested in Manhattan, right? He was extradited. He was in Monaco. He was living. He was like living like Saddam Hussein or something. He was in a spider hole, I think.
I don't think.
And they
so.
found him. No, he's probably on a yacht somewhere.
No, I believe he was in a Macedonian jail.
Macedonian jail. Okay.
Yeah. And then taken to the States.
Not a place you want to be.
No. Yeah, you don't want to be in a Macedonian jail. I agree. Now. He's
probably in the same. I wonder if he's in the, because in New York they have a separate jail for people who are like kind of they can't put in the general. So he's probably in the same room with Sam Bankman-Fried and Puff Daddy and stuff right now.
Would be hilarious.
Yeah.
I was very concerned about Doe and felt that maybe he's not getting a fair trial. Some of the latest evidence is really fucking damning. But it doesn't.
You're saying there's still a systemic risk in Cosmos.
Yeah. I'm saying it's definitely there, and
which makes me really sad.
Yeah, me too.
It's not good. I want to see Cosmos win.
I've trying to report this for 4 years, and it's been denied, and even. Very recently, I was told, unfortunately, by Mag from Skip that he does not feel that liveness faults are a security problem.
Okay.
I think that's insane.
Could you do me a favor? Mm-hmm. Explain to me, like I'm 5, the security issue that you're describing.
Sure, absolutely. So basically, by flooding a chain's mempool, you can cause it to halt. And you do that just by broadcasting transactions. So essentially, and keep in mind, I've built the code that allows you to do it. So that's at github.com/somatic-labs/meteorite. Okay. This is a user verification and testing tool. And also, I want to remind everybody that everything states that the chains can handle this capacity. There is nothing wrong with you throwing this capacity at the hub until it's accepted that this is an issue. There is no issue, and the hub says that it can handle 3,000 bank sends in 1 TX.
Okay, wait.
Of course, you can't. It'll go off like a light switch.
Could you dumb it down even more?
Yeah. If you bundle together 3,000 sends of 1 U atom, and then blast it off.
So 3,000. I want to send 3,000 microatoms over to
3,000 distinct addresses.
Okay.
And
3,000.
Exactly.
Okay.
It'll stop.
That specific Cosmos SDK chain will stop, or you're saying the entire Cosmos hub, everything will stop?
Okay, so the chains have no dependency on the hub. All right, so they're all independent. Consensus is always independent.
Zones, right?
Yeah, no, that model ended up never really being built. Oh. So that was in a model where the Cosmos hub was like the center of Cosmos, right?
Yeah.
It didn't work out that way.
Yeah.
The hub just, over and over failed to ship.
Yeah.
And then Osmosis happened.
Yeah.
Osmosis is the center of Cosmos.
For all intents, yeah. Sure.
I put an issue on the Gaia repository about how one could make the hub the center of Cosmos. But of course, if the hub isn't even safe, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
If that's that. And I've done basically everything that I could to avoid actually, discussing this stuff at length and in detail.
Yeah. So basically, you're saying if I spin up a new Cosmos chain, Matt chain,
Yeah.
space Matt, okay, and I do and I want to send and the token is Matt coin, and I airdrop the tiniest amount of Matt coin to 3,000 addresses or more, the chain will halt.
Yep. Especially if you do that
Really?
Yeah, especially if you do it repetitively. I mean, we could just do it for the podcast.
Just do it right now.
We can.
Let's hack someone's
if you'd
chain
like to.
on the
Look,
podcast.
the claim is absolutely that the chain won't go down. This is publicly,
Yeah, let's just open a short position on something and then.
This is what I put in my original peer-to-peer storms paper.
Yeah.
It's like, even if there is no risk to any asset on the chain, which has proven to absolutely not be true because a lot of things depend on timing, if you just halt a chain and tweet about it, like, yo, profits. And guys, since it's not recognized as a bug, what can I say? Like, try it. If you don't believe me, try it.
No, we should do it.
We will.
I mean, Bear Chain's about to. So Bear, like for instance, Bear Chain has a bunch of.
Bera had a very interesting.
I mean, like we should just do this. We should just.
They're on their.
We'll open a bunch of short positions on Bera.
They're on their fourth full rewrite.
We'll halt Bear Chain. Right
Well, I mean, actually, I don't know if Bera will be haltable. So Bera dropped the Cosmos SDK because they got. Oh yeah, they got super rugged, bro. They were told vote extensions worked. They didn't work.
Are they live yet, by the way?
Vote extensions, Bera?
No, Bera, yeah.
No, hi Bera community. I know y'all real big and shit, but I'm a little worried about your launch. But not so much from the Cosmos tech perspective. Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, definitely from that perspective. Yeah. Good luck. Good luck, Bears. Go.
I've been waiting. I mean, well, they have the dopest website, I think, of any.
They have the dopest a lot of stuff,
yeah.
But I guess when you combine like the slow ship speed, but then also the very large VC overhanging that they have, I question if it can economically do what they think.
I've been I'm not going to say anything disparaging about Bear. I wish for Bear success.
I also wish for Bear. I think both of us.
I'm waiting around. I've been waiting around.
And,
I want to use it.
I mean, I certainly know where their shipping issues came from, and I'll tell you, it sure as hell wasn't them.
Yeah.
They have, and this is okay. Here's another reason why we've got to take care of the security issues and why I'm in a bit of a transition. So. Yeah, I mean, I've done a hell of a lot of Cosmos work, right?
Yeah. So you're basically transitioning out of Cosmos right now.
I mean, unless there's like really immediate, like the hub was hacked in 22. The foundation didn't even file a police report. Like, the fuck? And this was on an issue that I reported to the foundation 2 weeks before the hack.
Yeah.
That's. Like, why would you not file the police report?
It's pretty sus.
I agree with you.
Pretty sus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
Yeah.
So, because I did give the Interchain Foundation, all of the necessary knowledge to execute the hack, because that's what a reproduction is.
Yeah. Is this public?
It is now. Yeah.
Wait, is this an exclusive? Are you breaking this?
It's broken on Twitter recently, but I guess one thing that is exclusive, right? I don't think that there is a wide understanding of the fact that I reported it 2 weeks before the incident. I was told to tell absolutely nobody. The exact scenario that caused me to make the report is actually what happened. I was like, guys, IBC on the hub is V3.0.0, and if we look at that is deprecated. It has Dragonberry issues. It has this ICA issue, and it was the ICA issue that got exploited.
Yeah.
And that destroyed a chain launch. But maybe the really key thing here is that like that could have been taken care of, or the foundation could have informed Quicksilver that their launch was at risk.
Okay.
None of that happened.
Yeah.
I followed their directions precisely.
Yeah.
Meaning I told nobody. But then afterwards, I felt like shit because Quicksilver still got wrecked. And that, like, dude, you report bugs to stop people from getting wrecked. Oh, I just said Quicksilver got wrecked, but like the users got wrecked. And you know what the funny thing is? What actually got hacked is the hub. Now the hub needs...
In 22, you mean?
Yeah, in 2022.
Yeah.
But, there was never really any recognition of that. And that's really bad because I think there was 300,000 or 30,000 atoms that were unavailable to users for nearly a month. They were eventually restored, but like the whole thing from end to end was easily preventable. One, by simply maintaining the Cosmos hub.
Yeah.
Like, if you keep those dependencies up to date, you're not going to have this problem. They were over 6 months out of date.
It doesn't sound very censorship resistant to me. If you could just halt.
So true.
Halt the whole thing.
So true. And well, in this case, the hub didn't get halted, but somebody was able to deny access to what's called an interchain account.
Yeah.
Which is just a fancy IBC thingy that lets chains like, you can sort of think of it as like chain-to-chain function calling. It's very cool shit, by the way.
That is cool shit, and that's the thing that that's definitely been like on the dream list for every Ethereum developer for a long time.
Yo, I feel you, and it should be actually.
Yeah.
Like if we look at the roll-up ecosystem on Ethereum, Cosmos is much more pleasant to use, and it is because it was explicitly designed to be multi-chain.
Yeah.
ETH, with ETH, I always feel like it's bolted on. Do you ever get that feeling? Like all the interop and everything else is just sort of like...
Well, that's the thing about these servers, because like I've been doing like omni-chain development for a while, for a couple of years, really focused on solving omni-chain communication over in Etherland. And
are you talking about the product omni-chain or?
No, so I mean,
Okay. When an Ethereum says omni-chain, they mean ETH and its rollups?
I tell you what I mean. I mean these goofy, like the only chain-to-chain communication in Ethereum is, as advanced as it is, it's goofy. Like it's duct tape. Like
dude, it is very goofy.
Very goofy. So like Axler, super innovative thing.
Yeah.
Layer 0, super innovative thing. And I've got a omni-chain DEX that I have like 5 DEXs, but one of them I'm launching omni-chain. Okay. And it's as innovative as Layer 0 and Axler are. It's ultimately kind of duct tape it's duct tape to glue these chains together that were never designed to be glued together. I mean, in the Ethereum white paper and all the initial marketing from Ethereum from 2014 is that it's the world's computer.
Right, exactly.
It was designed
and now
to be
it's like
monolithic from the beginning.
Computers.
Right. It was. There was supposed to only be one Ethereum for the entire world to compute stuff. And obviously, it just didn't pan out just because of, it's
hard.
I mean, as innovative as Ethereum is and was, it's it's just the scalability didn't pan out, right? And so then you have the rollups, which is more duct tape.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then you have stuff like Layer 0 and Axler, which is solving this problem of being able to transfer value from chain to chain, but the dream of Cosmos is it should just be designed. These chains should just be designed to work together from the get-go, from the start.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's actually kind of really kind of depressing that like Ethereum's over 10 years old now, and we're still doing this. I think the reason that the ecosystem is so duct tapey is basically because VCs like treat investors and like everyone likes treating these chains like they're betting on horses or something, They're like, I'm on Team
Well,
Solana.
okay, so
I'm
they're
on Team
actually,
Arbitrum. I'm
I
on
think
Team. They should just all
there's
work
some
together.
truth to the betting on horses aspect. Oh, but you're talking about betting on horses in the same ecosystem. Yeah.
No, I mean, like the investors
Like base
are
versus
just kind of,
Arbitrum.
yeah, they're just kind of people like, because when I tell people, oh, it's omni-chain, so like, it from a design principle, it just shouldn't matter what chain you're on.
Right, but you know what the thing is, it doesn't feel like an omni-chain when you use it. Even Cosmos suffers from this to some degree, but actually what I'll say is, hi Ethereum, hi Solana, you desperately need IBC, and you don't know how to get it in your stack.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you how right now because it's actually pretty easy. And IBC V2 or IBC Eureka, we're calling it, is likely to solve this problem. But really, guys, like full finality. Okay, hi Solana, you have 400 millisecond blocks, but there's no finality for 32 blocks. Is block? Not really, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Hi Ethereum, when you went over to proof of stake, you didn't do full finality.
Yeah.
So nobody knows if the block's at the tip is block. Now,
Yeah.
if these things would just finalize, you could like scope of things that you can mathematically prove between chains
Yeah.
goes up dramatically.
Yeah.
But in the current state of affairs, like maybe it's hard to mathematically prove anything between them.
I mean, you know, history is full of moments where people just there's a better technology and people just don't adopt it. Like nuclear power is one of those things. Okay.
Yeah, but you know what? I think let's talk nukes for a second, right? I think eventually nukes are going to win. It's way better than the alternatives. And then, but second thing, I think Cosmos is completely inevitable, and actually, we can see that. Do you want to be on ETH or Rollup? Well, you want to be on ETH. How do ETH and rollups talk to each other? Well, maybe.
It's a little,
it doesn't seem like
it's a
there's
little goofy.
any formal standard there, unfortunately.
Right. Exactly.
And then, okay.
And not only that, like, we need a Solana to talk with Ethereum.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Badly,
absolutely.
Right?
Like,
And
it's very desperately needed.
People, and maybe this is just like the American spirit that they like betting. Americans are obsessed with, treating everything like it's a Marvel movie, and they're like this with politics as well. Well, I'm for this team, I'm for that team, there's a rivalry, and you see this thinking happening right now. I'm on Team Solana, I'm on Team Ethereum. They should just talk. They should be
absolutely.
from the start.
Absolutely. In fact, one of the nice things about older Cosmos is that we weren't all that tribal. We really wanted to extend IBC everywhere, and now. Like, look, it can still work, but we need to start doing things in a reasonable way. And I don't know, I probably work 80 hours a week every week, and I don't mind it. I don't know, it keeps me sane. I don't want to go trucking, so I'll just work. It works.
But sometimes don't you want to just quit blockchain and just be a trucker or start a cafe or something?
Boy, that's an interesting question. I never really considered being a trucker. Well, I've thought about it, and I think it would be a lot of fun, actually. I just don't know how well it pays.
We'd be happier probably.
And I'm not really sure if it's a good family job.
No.
Being a trucker. But, I mean, look, and again, I hate saying this publicly, but Cosmos isn't a good family job because there are security problems.
Yeah.
Like, I can't.
Oops! All of your money's gone. Sorry. Oops.
Yeah. Like, I mean, come on. And then we're still okay. So every single chain has security problems. All of them. ETH does, BTC does. There's probably like a horrible drain bug in BTC somewhere, and just nobody's found it. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like the responses to incidents also matter a lot. Like, if I'm going to be a validator is supposedly a security role. Well, I need to actually know that the chain, that the organization running the chain that I'm validating, like, they have to actually care. If they don't, not a lot of sense in any of it. And honestly, this is where I'm at, and sort of why things are so. It's some pretty black shit, because if I'm stepping out of Cosmos, I'm doing it because of security problems and human problems and lack of trust in the foundation, and not because of the architecture. Okay, the Cosmos architecture is great, and every software problem in Cosmos, I'm sure, is solvable, because software is great like that. You can solve anything. But if we're not going to cover the super basics, like, responding to security reports and things like that, then I just have to get out. And because I have a family, and like.
Where would you go?
What? Ecosystem-wise.
Ecosystem-wise? Like, two questions. What other ecosystem would you focus on? And also, if you quit blockchain entirely, what would you do?
Okay, great question.
Yeah.
So if I was going into another ecosystem, it would be ETH or Solana or Sui, and maybe Aptos. There's some people who are trying to do a CTO now that Mr. Big Hair is gone.
Okay.
Such good hair, by the way. Goddamn.
Who?
Aptos CEO?
Oh, I don't know.
You've not seen the hair?
I have not seen.
I mean, I feel a little gay, but goddamn, man, there's good hair.
Look at his hair.
Okay, so let's see here. Look this up. Aptos CEO. All right, and oh my God, we could have Jesse do the. We could just give him the keyboard and mouse. We'll have to do that later. Okay, here he is.
I'll splice it in.
This guy.
I'll splice it in.
Okay, look at that beautiful.
That is an excellent head of hair.
Yeah, but that one's not even as good as some of his others. I mean, anyhow, he quit, and so there are some people doing a CTO. I find that minimally amusing and potentially interesting.
Yeah.
But let's just say the whole scope of high-speed proof of stake interests me. So that's where I'd go in crypto. So just some other high-speed proof of stake. But I also want to say that
not an app chain thing, not an app chain like Avalanche or Polkadot or something.
I would say that
because Sui's monolithic, isn't it?
Polkadot's. Oh, so many good questions. I prefer monoliths, but I think that they should be app chains.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Sui for a second. All right.
Yeah.
Sui, to me, my opinion, it really has sort of the same plan as Solana. They just want to go really, really fast, and they want to have contracts. Actually, it's a really good plan. It's just that, I want sovereignty, and that means that you need to be able to take the code and start your own chain, and then I want to build chains. I've built chains for third parties for a long time now. I have a great time with it. I'm a chain author. I even will ghost author your chain if you wish.
Sounds fun.
It is, actually. It's really fun. And, if you're considering the Cosmos stack, well, minimally what I can tell you is I can guide you through some of the weak points. But I also have to say, I have not been possible to ship a chain that I'm satisfied with. It just hasn't happened because I can still knock it over when it's done. And I know I just did this.
What's the perfect chain?
Okay.
If you could design a chain, what is the perfect?
Well, so then I came up with this idea of Vast, but then because I was just straight headed out of Cosmos, okay?
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
That tweet with the fish rots from the head down, that was just me. I'm GTFO. However, then I heard Skip was coming in. They began to talk to me. Look, I believe Skip is very well intentioned. These are the folks we're now calling Interchain Labs.
Yeah.
And I think Mag said something like, well, what if you're actually getting paid for reporting security incidents and they get handled properly? Would you be sticking around? And I'm like, of course.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that was like October. I know they're super, super busy, but and Mag, I'm practically speaking like directly to you. The problem is that I need to see these issues get handled. Words aren't enough, and even since we spoke, it's been 5 months. If the 2022 incident occurred today, the actions I would expect of you and your organization is like, let's say right now the 2022 incident occurs. Within not very long at all of your digesting the situation, yes, I would expect you to make a police report. The 2022 incident was very intentional, and that's clear.
Sus.
It is. But it's even more sus. What's even more sus is that the people who came before Skip/Interchain Labs, it's been 3 years. And Jacob, why are you going through like ancient history? Well, the hack was hard enough, difficult enough, that the attacker was almost certainly somebody working in Cosmos, somebody with intimate knowledge of the stack, and somebody who isn't scared as fuck, scared shitless, running away with shit running down their pants. And they should be. They should be. I don't know, whoever attacked the hub. They should be scared fucking shitless. They should know that we are coming to destroy them. Okay. And without that...
Okay, let's get to the heart of the matter.
Yeah.
All right, so the hub is hacked. Is this a crypto scam farm in Laos? Is this North Korea, or is this
who did it? So check this out.
Are you saying there's an internal conspiracy? Are you alleging?
I am saying that it is possible that there's an internal conspiracy, and that the way that you show that there isn't one is to make a police report.
Yeah.
I have this case, this situation, such that it would take a cop maybe 5 minutes to determine who done it. It is one hop away from an exchange address. This account was created specifically for this attack.
Okay.
The only other instance of this account in all of Cosmos, including every BEC32 permutation, because each chain has its own address scheme, is one, and that was on the Cosmos Hub testnet.
Yeah.
Okay? Practicing the attack. Literally practicing it. On the testnet edition, it was the Persistence. That's another liquid staking product that was attacked. And on the Cosmos Hub, it was Quicksilver that was attacked.
But, you know what would be really cool?
What's that?
Because there's some whales out there that have a lot of money in Cosmos. Maybe one of those guys should just fund you.
If they would like to. This issue is no longer live. It got fixed because of my report. But the other one, sure. And by the way, I'll accept funding to do this work. But you know what's even more terrifying? If eventually the foundation just says no, liveness issues aren't security issues, it's a dead end.
Well,
and
I tell you what, dude. This video is going this is quite a bit of FUD, frankly. There's quite a bit of FUD happening here, and I'm
not trying to FUD, unfortunately.
Well, you're on the Titanic. You're on the Titanic, and you're saying there's an iceberg over there. Like, I've done the measurements, and there's an iceberg, and that's what you're saying, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been doing that for years.
Yeah.
But would you like to discuss Luna a little more?
Yeah, I think I would actually. Yeah,
you would,
because you know quite a bit about it. Yeah, and it's a fascinating tale.
All right, so we went through those 2 points of The chain shouldn't have been shipped. The product's too dangerous.
Yeah.
And I forget the second point. Doesn't matter. Here's the deal.
Yeah.
The more guilty Do Kwon looks, and I need to say this clearly because I was saying the opposite in the past, okay?
Yeah.
He looks guilty as fuck. Now, I'm not the jury. I'm not all this other shit, right? But when it comes to like the definition of fraud, I mean, I hadn't.
Actually, you would be fun because you were just so on the ground floor while all this stuff was happening. If you could just like lay it out, like just explain like I'm five, like the step, like this,
the attack? Yeah.
the actual like.
Oh, I'll tell you what I was
collapsed,
doing.
Then this thing collapsed, and then this thing collapsed. So
Okay.
I think that'd be a fun one.
Are you aware of the spam tweets that were designed to drive panic about Luna?
I think I read about it, but no,
Okay.
tell me about it.
Hundreds or thousands of dead accounts. Or like, not commonly used Twitter accounts. All posted exactly the same message. You can still find it. It's the future of Luna is uncertain. Blah da 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 da. And
So just a bunch of like basically like some robo accounts.
yeah, well, yeah, but it was like the exact same.
So someone had a bunch of accounts and they're just putting some FUD.
Yep.
That Terra's in trouble. The end is near.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it starts there.
And I mean, by that point, it was already clear that the end could be near. But all right, so it was 1 week long where UST was bleeding out and the chain was dying. I was sitting in front of my computer in my office. In front of me was Twitter. To my left was the Block Explorer, and to my right was the prices and pre-monitors and you could watch the tweets come, the prices freak out, but then here's the freaky shit.
But wait, what was the connection? Because
Get ready.
Okay,
Right. The chain stopped missing blocks. Stopped making blocks.
Okay, that's not.
All
that's
of
not
these
good.
things happened in synchronization, and it happened many times.
So here's the Scooby-Doo mystery.
Yeah.
Who was the person with all the Twitter accounts? But, I mean, was this a coincidence? Because people try to FUD a chain. People FUD stuff all the time.
Yeah. And then they short it and shit like that.
Yeah.
And look, the chain could have just gone down from TX volume load, and I knew this, so I checked. Bro, 6 accounts did 90% of TX volume. 6, and they're like pretty new.
And what are these transactions? Are they like moving
I
money out
believe
of?
that they were intended to halt the chain and were intended to look like bot transactions.
They're intended to look like bot transactions. So
Yeah.
they have 6
And they
accounts
look like bot transactions.
that are doing just a ton of TX. And
Yeah,
this is
they
what-
did
this is
only
what-
one thing that was like not super body, which is like just the sheer amount of gas they were putting on the transaction.
And so this is the same
they spent
exploit.
millions.
And so this is basically the same exploit that you're talking about now that's still persistent in all of Cosmos.
Yeah, the liveness fault is one thing, and then that thing that happened on the hub is just totally separate. Okay, and unfortunately, what we have is just this pattern of security issues not getting addressed. Like there were very clear consensus problems with Luna as it was dying. Anybody with like. You look at the Block Explorer, you just see huge swaths of red. Like visually, you can tell something is wrong.
So you're saying, all right, so you've got the Twitter here, and you're like, there's all this FUD coming in.
Yeah.
And you're looking at the Block Explorer, and like, oh, red. Oh, the blocks aren't getting confirmed anymore.
Yeah.
They're-
And when that happens, right? So you have no new blocks
yeah.
at all,
Yeah.
and it also means that the Oracle, when the chain makes its next block,
Yeah.
will have temporarily invalid
Oops.
price data.
Yeah. Oops.
Exactly. Oops. And okay, so you asked who did it, and
Yeah.
a couple of people I know are like, "Are you trying to accuse shorters or traders?" And I'm like, "Fuck no." Like, hear me out here. If you shorted Luna or shorted UST, congratulations, you did good. There's nothing wrong with shorting, but if you're intentionally stopping the chain and shorting and intentionally preventing other users from transacting, because there's several effects to a P2P storm. One is the liveness thing, right? But there's another, which is that the RPCs go down. You, as the attacker, can monopolize the network. Nobody else can get transactions in. Now, if we just pull up a graph of transaction volume, I mean, you can actually see when the chain stopped, far fewer transactions were put through. Well, that was like, I've talked to these people. That was people who were trying to adjust their anchor positions so they didn't get liquidated. But you know what? They weren't able to, and so it cascaded.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, that's the nature of the elastic stablecoin, right? If the Oracle goes down, poof, no more stable. A dollar's not a dollar anymore.
Right. But you know what the thing is? It didn't know. And
Terra? Yeah, because the Oracle went down, right?
Well, but the chain didn't know that it hadn't been making blocks and that the Oracle price data was stale. It has no clock.
Yeah.
So, like, if you stop it for 19 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Then...
oh, I see. Yeah. I guess I didn't.
It keeps time in a way that's very similar to Bitcoin.
So
in the sense, like, on average, 6 seconds.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. That's a pretty glaring design flaw.
I agree strongly.
From the start.
Yeah. Well, that's why you have to...
Because all these other,
TFL built...
It's Oracle 101.
TFL built the Oracle. Okay. And so, like, one of the things, it's impossible to discuss this without saying, like, yo, that was really fucking irresponsible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love your facial expression. I know I've told you about this before, but I think you just got it.
No. It's just the reality is just the reality of the magnitude. Because, like, developers can sit around and kind of like wax poetic about, this is a bad design or something, and like, this is an issue, but it's like, it's like we're like architects or something, and we could talk about, this is kind of a bad architecture, this is kind of a bad design, like we're building a building in Tokyo. Okay. This could be a problem.
Well, the Cosmos architecture is amazing.
But the thing is that then the promoters behind Terra said, no, this is the best design ever, and also we'll give you, I think it was like 8% APY on a stable coin, and everybody get it, and people who were just like uninformed came in. And people got wrecked. I mean, people committed suicide because of that thing. Because like how many billions of dollars were like poof, gone?
Exactly. Now the big price decline, the actual breaking of the backbone of UST, it occurred while the chain wasn't making blocks.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
because it wasn't making blocks.
Yeah,
and
you want a blockchain. That's one of the main things that you want a blockchain to do is to make blocks.
Otherwise, it's not much of a chain, is it?
Yeah, and at the very least, you would want the application to, because it was you would want the application to stop or at the very least check liveliness.
Skip fixed this problem with their new Oracle, and it's brilliant, and I love it, and I think it's really, really good.
Yeah.
And you're right that, like, they should have defended their design from consensus faults, and they didn't. And that's a huge ding on TFL and Do Kwon. At the same time, one thing I'm really concerned about is that, all right, so let's just say it looks like Do Kwon is guilty of fraud. I feel really uncomfortable. I consider him a friend. I feel really uncomfortable making that judgment.
Yeah.
But also it's gotten really pretty shit. Like there's a lot of, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
However, the problem is that the more things that point at Do, the less reason to like look into this sequence of events. And I think that, should anybody from the state end up watching this video, and by the way, that's fine, and you can just drop a DM. I don't care, okay? Because like something really fucked up happened here, and that's what you guys are for. I think, I hope, maybe, we'll see. But check this out. The state. There's things that you're missing. One is that the chain was attacked, which, it does look like Doe did some fucked up stuff, right? And he could have attacked it.
Oh, that is quite an assertion there.
Well, I don't think he did, actually.
Okay.
But the darkest pill
Yeah.
is, he baked these flaws in and exploited that chain. And you know what? That, in any thorough investigation, should be looked at. Next.
I like to err on the side of like, just.
But this is why we have the three universes.
Because sometimes, developers just kind of, I think they were just, look, you can move fast and break things works if it's a social media network, not if it's an entire economy, and maybe they're just moving fast and breaking things.
I agree with you, and this is why I'm actually very willing to say that even though I'm fully aware that Doe could have been the attacker, I don't think so, and I also don't think TFL. I think that they had nothing to gain from the chain exploding and dying in the way that it did.
They had everything to gain by. They were billionaires.
Right.
They had everything to gain by everything working.
Yeah, it's possible though, and that possibility should be explored. Otherwise, you're not even getting into what actually occurred. But there are three universes here. I just gave you the darkest one. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me give you like So you have. What I believe happened, okay? Doe did all this fucked up stuff. People knew it was fucked up for various reasons and had various pieces of information on it. Somebody knew how to stop the chain, looked at the oracle, and killed it. And here's the problem. Doe's fucked up stuff, everything is being pinned on him, but there's this whole separate series of events that didn't involve the economy that are, look, if that was an attack, that's a felony. That's a big F felony. And I don't even think the state is aware, or maybe they are speaking to people who are wrong. Let me explain people who are wrong. People commonly will say like, oh, well, it could have just gone down due to high TX load, and those people are right. However, the fact that it was just 6 wallets doing, more or less the same thing, really kind of pins it down to, an attack.
Whether or not it was, even if it was, like, I actually I err on the side of thinking there wasn't a crime. Terra was just never. It was always a stupid idea.
This is the funniest thing and so much fun to talk about.
Yeah.
I have another friend who feels like you, and I should just let you know that in my cyberpunk heart, right? Like, absolutely, you are correct.
Like, if you want to buy this because I forked Elasticset dollar when it came out. I don't
know what Elasticset dollar is.
That was the Terra team's experiment, their first experiment with an Elastic.
One, right?
Yeah, on Solidity. It was on Ethereum, and I forked that thing and I gave it a spin there in DeFi summers. I remember it was like April of 2020. Ethereum was crashing. COVID was, and I was looking at the Elasticset dollar. And I'm like the whole world is kind of dark. I'm looking at Elasticset dollar. I'm looking how the Oracle works, and I get it running. And I see how appetizing it is for a developer. It's like, oh, I can just make stablecoins from nothing. And all of a sudden, I have $1 million stablecoin, $1 million of stablecoin. Like this is we're not over collateralizing. There's not gold in a basement somewhere that's backing it. It's not over collateral. It's like, oh, I just made it for. And I see I was kind of salivating at the idea of like, oh, you can just make stablecoins from nothing, but I was, banging on it with the Oracle. I'm like, but like, as soon as it was always a house of cards, it was always Jenga.
So that had Oracle update issues also, in the sense that the Oracle were to stop serving updates, then it just implodes.
It was just a way earlier version, and it was just much more bare bones. But I could see if the Oracle doesn't update, then it just races to zero basically.
Yeah.
It's
Correct.
it stops
Because
minting.
people will abuse those prices.
Yeah, I mean, and like, it's a good, I like that design could be useful. Remember Steam It?
Of course.
Remember
I love Steam It.
So, and they had.
I'm thinking about doing something like it soon.
Yeah, you should. You should. I was. For social.
Not going to
media
do it
network.
with the Cosmos stack unless shit gets handled.
If you're effectively manipulating, like what these elastic coins are doing, they're manipulating the market. They're minting and burning based on the price to maintain. It is quite literally automated market manipulation.
Yeah, actually, I think that's a good way of looking at it.
And if you're just doing fun points, if it's a meme coin, if it's goofy, then that's fine. Like when you buy Bitcoin or Ethereum or crypto or a meme coin, you that it's risky.
Yeah,
that's always
yeah,
everyone
yeah,
knows.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is risky business. So it could go to zero, it could go up and down.
And the whole thing with
with the
UST being marketed sort of like dollars.
being marketed as dollars.
Yeah.
That was, if anything, that's in advertising that it's not risky.
Mm-hmm.
They were advertising that it's not risky. That's what they were definitely advertising, and maybe that's the crime. Maybe that's fraud. That's false advertising. But
Look, I'm just saying that like that.
That's the only.
There's a bunch of other shady stuff too that just came out in recent court documents, but I do want to say that even if Do Kwon is guilty as fuck of fraud, right? Even if, and this is so important for people to understand, even if he's guilty as fuck of fraud, we still have not had a proper investigation into what actually took out the stablecoin, because it wasn't, I'll explain why in a second, it was not market conditions. Now, of course, I had to say at the beginning that Doe did a bunch of irresponsible shit. And in fact, he made market conditions that were sort of ideal for an explosion with his little move on 3 pool. But I look at everything and think of a chain as a timeline. And I try to explain not only to you, but to the whole world, what it looks like in my mind. Okay? So previously, I've used a cop-out, and I've just said, well, look, I'm able to model it, and it's very clear that the number one factor is not making blocks. But I'm now going to walk through the model, which I've done a little formalization on too. But it basically works like this. The market itself, there was a DPEG of about like 3 cents until, let's call it the death blow. Okay. Yeah. Well, it was all over the place. But let's just say there's a 3 cent DPEG. Well, that's not enough to break it. In fact, it would have recovered just via normal arbitrage. Okay. Because just like that ETH one.
They rely on arbitrage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. But nobody could transact and do the normal arbitrage.
Whoops.
Yeah. Because it was being P2P stored.
So what you're really saying is so you are saying the heart of this thing is an exploit. So
What I'm trying to say is that,
and really what we're talking about is kind of a Scooby-Doo mystery, a murder mystery of like. Well, so like what you're saying is that there was an exploit. That was the heart of the collapse.
Absolutely.
And now what we're speculating
was
on is
the number one driver of what happened to Luna, and that what Luna Classic is, people talk about it as an example of why you shouldn't make algorithmic stablecoins, and you know what? Bam. Don't make algorithmic stablecoins.
Yeah, don't make algo stablecoins.
Not a good idea.
Yeah, it's bad.
But there's more. It's the world's largest ever Oracle manipulation attack. And when you look at the history of oracles, it is, as you're well aware, filled with explosions. So I'm saying that this thing that I don't actually see being discussed in any court document, as far as I can tell, and I've spoken Not to my lawyer.
Hey, look at this image here of this girl who looks like she's just crying. Is she like crying and laying in bed? She looks upset.
If she's crying, she probably just lost.
She had a bunch of
UST.
She had a bunch of Terra. Yeah.
Yeah.
She just lost all her money. That's why.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
and that's
why she can't
like.
afford a better camera.
During that week, the reason I didn't sleep is I was helping friends unwind 7- and 8-figure Luna positions. They couldn't get their transactions through.
Yeah.
We did very, very unsafe stuff. They gave me the magic words, and actually, I was able to help all of them to some degree, and I remain very happy about that. And it was worth not sleeping.
Yeah.
It sucks to lose a bunch of money real fast. So I'm happy I was able to help those people.
Yeah.
But like, the change should just work. And at no time after the Luna debacle was there any investigation into, hey, like, why didn't the chain work? And this is where, like, I fault the Interchain Foundation. Keep in mind.
What? I mean, I thought there was like a big federal investigation, right? I mean, that's why he's in jail, right?
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Here's another thing.
Oh wait,
as we all know, the SEC.
Can I ask you? Could you hold that other mic a little bit closer?
Yeah, I can hold the mic a little. Yeah, is that better?
I want the world.
You want that nice blowjob?
This is a juicy story.
Okay.
This is a salacious tale.
It is.
Yeah.
But we all know the SEC is pretty fucked. I mean, they probably could have dealt with Sam Bankman-Fried long before his exchange exploded, but they were friends with him. Gary Gensler was.
There's some interesting reporting that there's like his family's in the CIA and this was like a big conspiracy.
I don't know if they're CIA, but those people are extremely well connected.
Oh yeah,
his parents.
Yeah, Whitney Webb has some good reporting.
I
on that.
think it's worth mentioning who they're connected to. It's the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
All right. These are not Republicans. These are straight up Democrats. And Sam's exchange was because of the SEC policy of regulation by enforcement.
Yeah.
Which is of course illegal. Yeah. And I do hope that Gary.
The circular. Here's a conspiracy. Yeah. That I read. So this I think this comes from Whitney Webb, the journalist. Mm-hmm. So here's the conspiracy. Basically, when the Ukraine war started, okay, the U.S. is sending all this money to the Ukraine.
You're right. Keep going.
Then in the Ukraine there was this big VC firm who was receiving a lot of because things got kind of shady. Went to an arms dealer, then yada. But some VC ended up with the money. That VC was investing into FTX heavily, and then FTX was doing all these campaign donations to both Republicans and Democrats. So really, it was a way for it was a way for these politicians to basically like kind of take taxpayer dollars and put it in their pocket.
True.
Yeah,
and the Republicans who took that money, like, you're all so bad. Fuck you. Okay, that's blood money. Fuck you.
Yeah. Fuck
but.
All them.
Fuck the Democrats more, quite frankly, because I think
they're
that
the same. Monsters.
No, not in this case.
Okay.
If you really think about like who carefully tried to fuck over crypto, no, that was not the Republicans. It was the Democrats.
The Democrat. Operation
Choke Point 2.0. All of these things are related.
Yeah.
And have I suspected for a long time that Ukraine is somehow involved in all of this? Yes.
That's a matter of public record that these investors in Ukraine were investing money, right?
Yep.
The conspiracy is where that money was coming from. Was it coming from the United States? That's not like, as far as I know, that's not totally. I don't know. I wasn't following it that closely, but that.
Well, it'd be real interesting to find out where money. Basically, like first we need to figure out, because there is a possibility, small, okay, that it was just a bunch of misconfigured bots that just so happened to fuck over the chain. Mm-hmm. There are a bunch of reasons I don't believe that's true.
Yeah.
Essentially, like who's going to put that much gas on a bot and keep it running for that long and literally spend millions in fees over the course of 5 days. Millions of dollars.
So I have a question for you. Mm-hmm. So if this exploit is still exploitable, if this security issue is still doesn't get patched, doesn't get fixed, and you end up leaving Cosmos for something different. What are you gonna do about your tattoo?
Oh, bro, this is an Osmosis tattoo, and as far as I'm concerned, that's not Cosmos. Cosmos is the thing that is Interchain Foundation, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I love this tattoo. I'm not getting rid of it, and I'll still validate it at Osmosis. And they're
an excellent
like,
tattoo.
fuck yeah, dudes. And you know what? They've received $0 ever from the Interchain Foundation. It's a good, don't need to worry about it. Osmosis ain't Cosmos, especially if we're talking bad things about Cosmos.
Can I tell a story about the tattoo?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Okay. So 2 years ago, the Ethereum DevCon was in Colombia, and then they organized Cosmoverse.
That's correct.
Like a month before in a different city, and so I was gonna make the flight from Vietnam.
Yeah.
You were up in Hanoi at the time, and I was really bugging you. I was like, "You got to go. Come on, it's Cosmoverse."
Yeah, and I was like,
and
no.
It was my first Cosmoverse too.
Yeah, and then Larry was like, "You got to come," and then
You got to come. You got to come. So basically, what happened was everyone is bugging this guy, and then there was you got the idea. Well, basically, someone said you have to come, and we're paying for you, right?
Nobody paid, but they did say you have to come, and it was that was Larry.
And then whose idea was the tattoo? You were gonna get. How did the tattoo idea come to me? Because you had like a Twitter. A Twitter feud. If I'm
With
understanding this
Wasmington.
right.
Well, Wasmington is a shitty validator. I couldn't believe that Wasmington could ever be ranked higher than Notional.
Yeah. So basically, Jacob says he goes to Twitter and he says basically fuck these guys. And here's the deal. If you delegate more money, if you knock this guy out of the top 10, I will get a fucking Osmosis tattoo. I'll get a Cosmos tattoo.
Fucking A, right?
And
Well, not a
crowd.
Cosmos. Osmosis.
Osmosis.
This is
Yeah, you got the
Osmosis.
Osmosis tattoo.
There are reasons I don't have an Atom tattoo. Reasons.
So Jacob got like all these people on Twitter basically to delegate to remove their money from this thing because they want the tattoo to happen. And then you had like he had like a contest going where people are voting on what the design should be and everything else for the tattoo. And so then finally, yeah, you got this guy you don't like kind of kicked out of the top 10.
Yeah.
And then Jacob was in the top 10. They just took the money from his validator and put it on your validator.
Yeah, it was many millions of dollars.
It was excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent trolling. Excellent. As a matter of fact, during Cosmoverse, this was very hilarious. So I'm in the basement with you at Cosmoverse at this hotel thing with a convention center.
Yeah.
And you're fixing so you've paused. You're supposed to be speaking or something. You're supposed to be doing, but he's helping some Cosmo thing launch, right? And I'm in the basement with you, just hanging out in the dark.
Yeah,
and then
that's
someone
how we
runs downstairs. They run downstairs like, Jacob, you gotta go upstairs right now. He's like, why? You're getting an award. And I'm like, what? And so you pack up your laptop. He looks he was up for 2 days. He looked very disheveled. He was stressed out because he's helping this team launch their chain, right? And I mean, so anyways, you're running now. This guy's like, you have to come right now. There's a big crowd, and we're running up the stairs, escalator, and we walk into the convention center, and then there's just a stage and lights and a roaring crowd, and he walks up on stage, and they're like, Jacob, you get an award. You are the #1 troll in Cosmos. And you're just like, fuck yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was a very fuck yeah thing. And by the way, it was a really good bottle of champagne. Did I drink that with you?
Yeah, you got the champagne. Then we just went back downstairs to keep fixing that blockchain.
Yeah,
we drinking champagne down there.
That is absolutely what happened.
Okay, so then at the end of the week, the tattoo. I've got photo. We'll put the Jesus photo up. So basically, it wasn't just that he was going to get a tattoo.
True.
It wasn't just this was. It's not like he's going to go down to the local tattoo shop at the closing party for Cosmoverse that year.
A rave.
A rave, a ginormous rave. There was like this balcony. Right, there's a massive
balcony.
There's like a massive, like really high up balcony, and they got someone organized the #1 tattoo artist in Colombia to turn up. So we have a tattoo chair. He had his ink. He had all the gear. He had the lights.
Yeah.
A professional tattoo situation on the balcony of this rave.
Yep.
Okay. So Jacob walks up there. This is like midnight at the rave. Everyone's downstairs raving good. He like rips off his shirt. He's just like, yeah. And he sat there. So people are downstairs at the rave watching you get a tattoo. Get this tattoo. Yeah. And that was. I mean, if you're gonna get a tattoo, that's the most. It's really.
Bro, do you want a unicorn tattoo? Because me and him and this other guy were getting a unicorn tattoo tomorrow.
You guys are getting tattoos?
Yeah, they're gonna match. Do you want to make it 4?
Here's the thing with me. Yeah. So I have, and every tattoo I have is a matching tattoo with somebody else.
What do you want to do it?
Yeah, we should.
I knew that. Okay, fuck
yeah! We should get a tattoo tomorrow.
More unicorn tattoos.
What's the design? What's the?
He'll show you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good, and definitely, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get some matching unicorn tattoos.
All right, excellent.
Fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, dude, that tattoo was really fun, and I'm hoping that this one will be as much fun.
Is that the? It's just the emoji. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
Look, the way I look at it, I'm unbalanced right now, right? I have this here, right?
Yeah.
I get a unicorn right over here.
Oh, that's excellent. Yeah, excellent idea. Yeah.
But to answer your question about the tattoo, I don't need to worry about that at all because, like, Osmo ain't never wronged me. Or ain't never wronged its ecosystem for that matter too.
Yeah.
Do I wish the price was higher? Hell yeah. If I thought that I could drive Osmo to $5 by getting this thing colored in, I'd do that tomorrow. But I'm not sure that.
Well, we should. That's going to be the next episode. I think the next episode is like.
Osmo's
we should figure out a way to drive the price of Osmo up.
Oh, look, tomorrow when we get the tattoo, unicorn is gonna. Zabundabum. There are a number of other people also getting tattooed tomorrow in different places around the world.
With the unicorn?
Yeah, I organized the whole thing.
Oh yeah. I mean, wait, what's the meaning with the unicorn? Wait, what's the whole thing?
Well, actually, Bruce has done a great deal of the logistics. I just had the idea. What?
No, what's the story with the unicorn tattoo? Why a unicorn? What's the?
Oh dear, we will have to pause recording for urination.
Okay.
1 moment.
All right. Cool. Yeah.
What the fuck about the unicorn, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Bam. So, what the fuck about the unicorn? All right. Well, I guess it all starts with Don. Don, you fucking prick. Love you, bro. Now, Don, that's Don Kryptonium. Okay. Oh, yeah. One day this fucker sends me a link to a website. Yeah. Unicorn.meme. And it's all flashing like you nearly have a seizure just looking at it. Okay. It has a great deal of like raverish techno, right? And and they're doing like the world's largest airdrop. They're airdropping like every NFT collection ever, every huge airdrop.
You told me,
most users ever.
I think you sent me some of that. It's just a unicorn emoji. That's the.
Yeah. I sent you some of that shit. Yeah. Of course, I sent everybody that. And by the way, if you meet me in person, just ask. I'll send you a little cheese and a little ooh-woo. Just to, like, make your life more complete. Now, what is it, though? Well, I would have to say that it's most likely the replacement to Swift.
Swift?
Yeah.
Swift?
The banking, the interbank protocol.
So? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
The unicorn emoji meme coin is the replacement for Swift.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Swift sucks. So
Swift does suck. And I think that at the top of the unicorn, there are some extremely wise minds who prefer to remain, unknown. Yeah. Well, I don't know who they are, so I can't, Yeah. It's not even like, could you tell me? No, I actually can't. But it's just this like really, really meme-driven project that's just like very bold and, in my opinion, experimenting with all the right ideas. They really want to like chase memes properly. But
it's a meme coin. It's the heart of this is the.
But what is the highest market cap meme coin?
It's gotta be Trump, right?
USD.
Ooh. Hot take.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I should just tell our gentle audience that I don't know if any of this stuff is true, but I've come to just say I think that unicorn is probably like your best meme coin bet, probably like beyond anything else that's out there.
I'm ready just to put basically just mortgage my house and just basically put my savings.
Hey, I'm supposed to advise you against that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Biden told me to.
Okay. Well, this is not.
Trump told me to encourage you.
None of this is financial. None of this is financial advice, ladies and gents, but it is life advice.
Have you mentioned the network state and like the goal?
Oh, I didn't even get into the synarchy. You know what? I think let's Bruce, come on over here to the other side. Come to the other side. All right, everybody, this is Bruce. He's gonna tell you about the motherfucking synarchy.
Synarchy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the camera is following your face.
Oh, I was putting my feet over by yours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, short about the synarchy, I guess, is have you ever been in a group of people where the trust was of the highest value?
Yeah, sure.
And like
Right now.
yeah. And are you aware of like what that brings to the table? When you don't have to sign a contract, you can just do a handshake and shit gets done, right?
Absolutely. We're doing that on a podcast app.
Exactly. It gives strength and fluidity, and you don't have to worry about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's important.
So I think that is like one of the base value, at least for me, about the unicorn is this building a synergy of high value individuals that are not in the market to make money, but are in the market to find other high value individuals. And when that has been done,
It's kind of a wink. It's like, oh.
yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
dude, like, I give an example. My favorite. I have a favorite synarchy example. Blind OTC with people you don't really know. I've done it 5 times.
So meeting
With only in the unicorn community.
Meeting in a dark alley somewhere.
I mean, well, meeting like so you're in a group chat with 250 people. You have a purchase request.
Yeah.
And you just send the whole amount first, and that is the unicorn community. Like,
Okay, I like that.
and yeah, five individuals, and basically, like the deal is like if you fuck that up, you're just instantly out. In fact, if we were to kind of to tie this back to Cosmos, I mean, I want a high trust society for Cosmos. I don't want what we currently have, but that means that
I'm a fan of a trustless society where we're not trusting anyone to be nice.
oh, absolutely. But that's on the tech side. You want zero trust on the tech side.
That's right.
But I'm talking about on the human side, and on the human side, like you
I
can,
need high trust.
yeah, you do,
Trust. Yeah.
and
Well, shit gets done when there's high trust, right?
Right. People don't have to. I just had a really like bad experience with a client this last week. No.
oh, thank God.
But she was on the pitch deck, everything, CMO, and then they tell me, oh, she's not CMO anymore. We have another CMO. So then I call her. I'm like, I guess you're not CMO. She's like, what? They never told me that.
Wow.
She was bringing in the funding. So anyway, I watched them screw her on the CMO role, and then I'm like, no, you guys need to pay me up front. So this is why we should. I like this unicorn tattoo idea. Maybe I'll just do business.
There you go.
Business
Great.
with the unicorn tattoo.
There you go.
If somebody fucks you, like, they're just gone. And so,
In the crystal with them.
yes, into the crystals.
The crystals.
Yeah.
So you can't hear them.
Yeah.
Crystals. I don't know what.
They're
So
crystals.
we crystallize. We crystallize people who like fall out of the synarchy, and when you're in a crystal, we can see them and they can see us, but there's like a boundary can interact. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
I like it.
so what I wanted to like finish that with the synarchy and the trust part, like when there's a group of high value individuals that trust each other,
Yeah.
stuff gets done, and it can get done in such a scale where it ends up with a new nation. And that's a very short. The networkstate.com describes everything. It's a very good book.
Oh, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan.
Oh,
I read it.
you read it?
Yeah, I read it.
Well, for me, that's like what the unicorn is all about.
I need to read it again. I've read it, but I mean, you guys have anything to say about the network state? Because I find it very interesting.
Oh, I feel very strongly. Well, I think Balaji's done a great. What Balaji did with network state is like, he's taken really like 10 years, 15 years of DAO thinking, of decentralized governance systems thinking, and he really distilled it. All this culture of blockchain that happens like this, of like we should build a thing that does this and that, and he put it in a book, easily digestible book, easy for normies outside of the crypto micro, and it's so. Oh, my camera turned off.
Well, there we have it.
Died. Yeah.
Well.
Anyways, all right. So, excellent podcast. Thank you for being on.
Bam.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
For thank you both for joining the pod.
Oh, bam, bam,
Bam.
bam,
Yeah.
bam, 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 bam.
That's awesome.